Hello and welcome. So in this video, I cover 4 exercises that are great in terms of strengthening the muscles around the knee. So particularly today, we are going to be working on hamstrings, on inner thighs, and on glutes. In terms of equipment, you can absolutely do this with no equipment whatsoever. But otherwise, if you have a yoga block or a Pilates ball, or even just a cushion, something that in a moment we're going to place in between the knees, then that would be great. Either way, let's come to make our way onto the mat and come all the way down onto the back, knees bent, feet hip distance apart. And then from here, just get a little tuck of the tailbone, just so you can lengthen the spine and bring the arms either side of the body with palm down. So your feet here are parallel, they're hip distance, and already you're trying to get a feel for tracking your knees in line with that second or third toe. So let's do a glute bridge without the block first, without any props first, just to feel it into the body. So take a deep breath in. Tuck your pubic bone and slowly peel your hips off the floor. Now, don't come too high, so we're not expanding up into a yoga bridge here. We're keeping the rib cage closed and low, and then slowly release back to the floor. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the pubic bone, lift. As you lift, really squeeze through your glutes and release. And so let's keep going with that. Take it nice and steady. And just have that awareness of what your knees are doing. So just making sure they're not rolling either too much in or too much out. And I'm going to get you to feel this with a prop in a moment. That will help you to keep this nice, strong alignment through the knees. So nothing too high. And what you should also feel, as well as this squeeze through the glutes, is you're going to feel a squeeze and contraction into the hamstrings as well. So this is such a great exercise, this bridge. You're working both hamstrings, glutes, and inner thighs. So all great in terms of building strength around the knees and stabilization around the knees. Let's take 4 more. Nice exhale through the mouth. And 3. Final 2. On this, your final one, stay up. Stay here and breathe. Soften through the shoulders. Just make sure you're not taking any of the tension up into the upper body. And then let's start to take these tiny isometric pulses. So really small, like almost don't need to see it. And so little lift and squeeze and squeeze. Again, keep nice and soft through the upper shoulders. Neck is long. Strong exhale through the mouth. You should feel this as a burning sensation into your glutes. Absolutely. Let's take 4, 3, 2, 1, and then gently peel your way down. Good. Take a moment. Just release that. Hug it in. And then reset your feet hip distance apart and just grab your prop, your block, your ball, your pillow, and just place it in between the thighs. And then from here, get that squeeze. So you're squeezing your block. And so what we're doing here is we're just making sure that we've switched on this inner knee activation. So come back into 8 lifts with this added form of resistance. So let's peel up. Let's take 8. Keep squeezing that block. So at no point do we release the squeeze of the block. Here we go, let's take 4 more. Keep squeezing. 3 and 2 and 1. You hold it in that halfway position. Again, just make sure you're tucking that bottom rib in and down as opposed to expanding through the ribs. Here come the pulses. Keep squeezing that block. So you might find as you get tired that squeeze wants to drop out. Let's go 4, 3, 2, this time hold it. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. So this is a really tiny move. You might not see my legs doing anything at all, but I'm squeezing the outside of that block. I'm going outer to inner. Again, hamstrings are firing up, glutes are firing up. Let's take 4 more. 3, 2, 1. slowly roll down, release your prop and hug your knees in. So of course you can do all of these for much longer than what I'm demonstrating today. I'm just showing them so you get a bit of a feel, but by all means, you know, you can just keep repeating this video and doing this for as long as you can. So let's connect the feet back down. And now let's extend our left leg long. Arms either side of the body, shoulders roll down, ribs close. From here, think of peeling up, have a little look at the hips. So you want the hips to be nice and level. You don't want them dropping to the left or right. Pause. So suddenly we're in a single glute bridge and then roll down. So super strong, I know, on the right leg. If it feels too much, just go back to the first option with both feet to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, peel up, lift. Keeping the left leg to the floor for now and release. And you know, this is strong enough as it is. Trust me, I feel it too. And lift and lower. Hold it, lift. Can you press more strongly into the right foot? Can you lighten your left leg? You're not lifting it, you're just thinking light. Suddenly that burn gets even more and release. Let's go one more of those. Tuck pubic bone, push strongly into right foot, lift up, hips level, squeeze right glute, breathe. Get lighter on this left leg. Maybe you contract through the belly and lift it, maybe, for 4, 3, 2, 1. With great relief, let it go and switch sides. So this version is when you're a little bit stronger. It's just a progression. It's something that you don't have to do. So here we go. Let's go single time. So we lift up. And let's lower. Again, push and lift. And lower. Let's stay up, hold, get lighter in the right leg, press strongly through the left foot. Okay, squeeze that left butt cheek. And release. Here we go, final one. Tuck pubic bone, lift up. Hold, belly contract, so you're still really switching on your abdominals here to support you from your center, your core center. Option if it feels okay to lift, you don't have to, you don't want to be arching into the back here. So 4, 3, 2, 1, release, release, release. Well done, deep breath in, deep breath out. So your glute bridge, great at working both inner thigh activation, your glutes and your hamstrings. From here, come to roll over onto your left hand side and come to tuck those knees right in. You can support the head, but be nice and spacious between your shoulder and your ear. Again, belly pulls in. You're taking very small and controlled oyster or clam lifts. These are called often a number of things. But essentially, I'm keeping it really small and isolated. And so we're trying to switch on these external glute muscles. Again, great for stabilization and strengthening of your knee. So they're right to the outer glutes. You're likely to feel this potentially in both outer glutes. You have the one that's doing the work and the lifting. You have the one that's doing the work and trying to stabilize you as well. So let's take just 4 more. Note that I'm not massively opening my leg or rolling back. I'm staying with my hips stacked for 3, 2, hopefully you're feeling this. 1, hold and breathe. Keep scooping that belly to support you. Let's take 8 pulses for 8, 7, keep breathing, 6, 5, should hurt, 4, 3, 2, can you hold it? Keep lengthening your tailbone, breathe, 8 counts, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Yeah, give it a little smack and switch sides. All the way over. We come down, we support the head, we tuck the knees in. right onto the side, hips stacked, belly scoops. Here we go, second side. So nice and parallel, not in this version opening the knee at all. Just a lift. And second side is always worse. You're already fatigued now from that first side. So strong exhale as you lift. You really need that breath to fuel these tiny movements. It's the small movements that are always the worst because you're properly isolating into that muscle. Let's go 4, 3, 2. Here come those evil pulses. 1, hold, breathe. Good, real small. Here we go. Let's go. Final 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 8 counts. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Release, release. Good. Come and take a child pose. So sinking bottom to heels, you'll feel that as a real nice release both into the lumbar spine and into those outer glutes. And then come to make your way all the way onto the floor. So your third exercise that you can do, again, still working on your glutes here. Legs hip distance apart, lift your belly up and bring your forehead to the floor. Take an inhale and exhale, lift your right leg, squeezing your right glute muscles and release. Let's move that to the second side. Left leg lifts and lower. Right leg lifts and lower. So I'm not going too high and I'm keeping the leg straight. And I'm pointing the foot just to really switch on my muscles. I'm actively engaging the muscles just by the very nature that I'm pointing that foot and lengthening out long. So as you go, you should feel this into each side. Keep that belly lifting, keep that core engagement on. Let's take 4 more. Again, hamstrings are working here. 3, 2, 1, and release. Let it go, have a shake. And then a different version of this, if you want something different, is to do this with bent knees and flexed feet. So the movement feels a little harder to lift. So I push and drop, trying to keep the pelvis relatively still, particularly in this movement. You'll feel that you want to swing and sway around, but try to keep that pelvis as still as you can, so that it's a real controlled muscle and a real controlled movement. Let's go 4, 3, keep that belly in tight. 2, we're going to release the lower back as well. 1, release, let it go. Hands underneath your shoulders, real gentle, slow transition. So of course you're wearing a slight back extension there. So just take a moment again to find your child pose. Do slowly roll up. And so final one, I talked about it a lot in the knee video. If you've seen the overview of the knees, we talked about squats then. Again, it's a great one to do for the knees as long as you're in a nice strong alignment. And to keep your alignment strong, this is where sometimes your block, your prop is really useful, is I would just pop that in between my thighs. I get that squeeze in. So bring those feet nice and parallel. Shoulders roll down the back. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. So send your bottom back. Your knees don't go over the toes yet. They're back towards the ankles. Knees track forwards. Squeezing the glutes on your way up and squeezing the inner thighs. Yes, you're trying to get inner thigh activation. You're trying to get outer glute activation so that we're just not over-relying on the quads, on the thighs. So push back and lift. You don't have to go too deep, particularly if you're being mindful of the knees. Yeah, keep it super small. Tailbone nice and long, belly scoops in. Let's take 4 more. So you're working a little bit differently than you do in your HIIT class. It's much slower, it's much more controlled. Stay here and breathe. Again, doesn't have to be deep. Let's just take those 8 pulses. Take 8 really small, send the pulse into the sit bones rather than the knee joint. 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Well done. Take the block away. Let's come to take a quad stretch. So you can hold onto a wall if you need to. Take same hand to same foot and just stretch that out. And take that second side. And release. Awesome. So, hope you enjoyed. As I say, this is just a short version just so that you can understand some of the exercises that you can do to trigger some of those muscles that we want to trigger to support the knee. So you can repeat the video. There'll be longer videos to come, I promise. And yeah, do as many of these as you can in your own time. Thank you for watching.